and sunny at the same time. Hopefully you can actually hear me. It's pretty windy out here and it's cold. I would have gone to this movie on 13th, but it was going to be 24, so I decided to pick a day when it was 30 instead. Anyway, I'm going on a little adventure. I'm going to the bus stop so I can go to movies to see the movie Kong Skull Island. And I'm trying to take the 25-minute walk to the bus so I can get there, hopefully on time, which would technically be about an hour, or actually half an hour early. I'm just launching my video that sort of explains what it is that I'm doing with my writing, and I'm a little bit anxious. So I wanted to go out and see a movie and get some inspiration in the process. So I'm going to put my hand back in my pocket now, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Well, I walked faster than I thought I would, and got there almost 16 minutes early. So I kept walking, and now I'm stopped at one of the other places that I can get picked up at. And I'm hoping that I don't get frozen because now I'm in a place where it's kind of cold. But anyway, adventure is on. There's my chin. See you guys in a bit. Through dangers and hardships I have fought my way here beyond the Goblin City to watch a fucking movie. Be a good movie because it is cold and it is windy. Oh, I can't even hear me. Getting dark in here, so I'm trying to cozy up to the light so people can see me. Okay. Okay. So I'm sort of redoing this video because it was like 20 minutes long, and I'm thinking that it'd probably be better if I probably just wrote it, maybe. It's tempting. I had like a little adventure on Friday, and I don't drive, so I had to walk what was supposed to be was like a 25-minute walk to a bus stop, 11-minute bus ride to get me like halfway there, like at least like on the correct road for the movie that I wanted to watch. And the wind chill, yeah, I think it might have been getting close to zero, and I swear that wind was like trying to blow me into the street the whole time. But it was an epic adventure. Before I even got there, actually, it sort of felt like it took longer to get there than it was to actually watch the movie. I swear it only took like 40 minutes to get there. But, you know, obviously the movie was not 40 minutes long. But I really loved the visual effects of it. I loved seeing Kong as a freaking gorilla. I mean, it was awesome to see that I loved. I would even like to go off and see it again just so I could see that again. But there were just a few things that I like, behavioral things. And that's probably one of the biggest complaints that I have of most movies, that I'm just kind of like, just because, you know, behavioral things. Like Star Wars, the recent, not Rogue One, but the one before that, they had like that cute little robot. They kept taking it everywhere they went, and it drove me crazy, because it's like, everybody's after the freaking robot. Why are you taking it with you into public? That makes no fucking sense. When it came to behavior, if I had to have like 5 out of 5 of, you know, like, okay, 5 stars of, you know, like, based on behavior, I would probably give it a 1. Because that drove me up a fucking wall, down the wall, and up the wall again. Like, it drove me crazy. This made no fucking sense. Anyway. It drove me crazy. But visually, it was awesome. So got like a 5 out of 5 visually. Kong Skull Island got a 5 out of 5 visually. Behaviorally, I would say probably 3.5, maybe stay around 3, just because there, like, I wish that there was more interaction between the character Mason Weaver, I think her name. I'm normally horrible with names, so I think I'll I kind of Googled it before I did this so I would remember. Because like I understood because I was watching like a lot of interviews and stuff like that, and like I understood that Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson didn't want to have like a romantic relationship because they felt like it was forced, or it would be kind of forced in something like this. But it would have almost made a little bit more sense if they had a little bit more of a flirtatious relationship than than any fascination from Kong towards Brie Larson's character, Weaver, because they only really interact twice. And like the first time she's trying to get a helicopter off of this like amazing creature, like a cross between an Alaskan cattle and like a buffalo. Like it was gorgeous because it even had what looked like moss on it and stuff like that. It was awesome. That was awesome. And there was a little bit of an interaction there. He just kind of stares at her and then leaves. I kind of wanted a little bit more than that. And then there's that awesome part where she's on like a cliff, and he approaches her and Hiddleston's character Conrad, and she gets to like touch him, like on the lip or nose. I'm not really sure, the combination of both, because it is a gorilla and it looks like a gorilla. Like it is awesome for that very reason. And again, I kind of want to see it again just for that. And like I would have totally rewritten it, honestly. I would have totally rewritten that whole thing had, like, because it's like Kong was still wounded. Like, he's still wounded after his, fight with the humans. So it's just kind of like he saw this creature that's unlike anything that he's probably ever seen. He's unlike anything you know, he's unlike anything there. Like he's the last of his kind. So I could see there being like a little bit more intrigue towards her than what was shown. Like I could totally see him like picking her up and taking her to like a place that he knows of like good herbs or something like that, and like to help her out or something like that, or maybe she could be wounded as well or something like that. Like I wanted more interaction between her and Kong, because it sort of felt like it was a little bit forced, actually, especially towards the end when he's fighting the big monster. Kong is fighting the big monster, of course, not Conrad or anything like that. I have a tendency to jump a lot, so I'm trying to stay on track. And he's fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting this big monster after Samuel L. Jackson tries to kill him because his character is an idiot, as they always are. And then like fighting, and throws him like Kong throws the two-legged snake thing into a sort of a mountain area that Mason Weaver is on. Mason? It is Mason, right? Mason always sounded like a guy's name, which is ironic because my first name is Sylvan, which is technically a guy's name. So Anyway, and she falls off, and she's kind of like knocked out, and he finishes off by slicing his neck with a propeller of an old ship that had wrecked there, and then he saves her, and then the thing somehow is still alive after having its throat slashed, and somehow thinks that it's a good idea to continue to tack Kong to try and get the little itty bitty human inside of his hand, even though he's, you know, if he isn't dead now, he should be dead later because his throat is slashed. And I would just sort of think that, you know, an animal at that point would not be thinking, I want to get the little itty bit of food from the thing that just damn near killed me, or has probably killed me. So I'm going to crawl off and try and hopefully heal somewhere and or die. That would have made more sense. So that's part of the reason why I wanted there to be more interaction between the two of them. Like, I wanted, you know, Kong to, like, pick her up, take her off somewhere, then, like, the squid thing would, like, attack them, and he would, you know, protect her that way, and that way you didn't really have the kind of overdoing it part at the end with the two-legged snake thing. Or the skull crawler, or whatever it was. The guy had been there for like 28 years. Oh my goodness. I don't know, like, that's just my opinion, but at the same time, it was cool. I just sort of, I was sort of left wanting a little bit more. You know what I mean? I wanted a little bit more of an interaction between those two. I wanted something even like just, I don't know. There's like certain, like, there's just like various behavioral things throughout it that kind of didn't mesh with me so very well, because I wanted there to be a little bit more. And sometimes it sort of felt like Samuel Jackson's character, I sort of felt like like, I don't want to say that he was too easily set on making Kong the villain, because it's just like he's defending his territory. You do that for anyone. That's practically what they were doing when they showed up and started shooting the place. They were trying to protect themselves. That's what Kong was doing. But of course, I'm trying to go into logic, and half the time, whenever they have these characters, they're not logical whatsoever. So I don't know. Like, I could just be splitting hairs, but it sort of felt a little bit slow towards, like, the middle, and then it sort of picked up when they decided to save Kong, just because it was the right thing to do. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm sort of a behavioral snob. Like, I have a behavioral psychologist within me, and, you know, like, I people watch all the time, because I'm a writer, and for me, like, especially whenever I write, I write things as if they're movies. So and I have like a certain way that I write, so I can try and convey the movie that's going through my head. So yeah, like, behavior is such a huge thing for me, and some of it was just kind of missing the mark. But everything else was awesome. Like, everything else was awesome, and I loved. And the weird thing is, you know, I'm also an artist, so, like, weird visual things strike my attention, like strike my fancy sometimes. But after Kong got sort of set up into flames a little bit, he was still alive. Luckily, that's probably the main reason why this movie probably would get a 5 out of 5. Just, you know, like, in either category, you know, because he's still alive. I could never stand it whenever he died at the end. I could never do it. Like, could never do it. He's alive, but he did get set on fire. But they actually showed like the texture of his hair and like how it like curled up and got kind of crispy, and you could actually see that. You could see that, like you could almost feel it. It looks so freaking real. Like it was, it was so cool, and that for some strange reason I absolutely loved. I know you can call me weird all you want, but I can't help it. Okay, I really need to stop right now because the last video took for freaking ever to load because it was like 20 some odd minutes long, and these guys are gonna start, yelling at me. So I gotta go. Bye bye.